Where hero my ferrao friends. My name is Mr. Wong. I am how to teach you today. I am a teacher you Kakaras. Section 1.1. You hear of the function? Well, the function is one of the most important concepts in our of maths. A function exists when something depend on something else. Like how I depend on my small paychecks to stay alive. Look at this graph depicting the amount of dog eaten over time. So if the recent spike, I got hungry. What is important to note is that every input mapped to an output. The formal definition of a function, f, is data function here. Data assigned to each element, x, in a set, d, exact one element, card, f of x, in a set, e. Sound complicated? Think of d as a input, and e as a output. Use d and e, a real number. The d is the domain of the function. The e is the range of the function. Say we take a random number from d. D number is an independent variable. Consider my paycheck example. My paycheck will be my paycheck no matter how hard I work. I'll feel like I am getting cut every day. Now we take a random number from e. D number is a dependent variable. Let's make d a dependent variable how hungry I am. If my paycheck is small I get more hungry. If my paycheck is big, I buy a Lamborghini. I have no large paycheck yet, so no Lamborghini. Now, let's analyze my previous graph too. F of 1 is just equal to 1. Meaning that on day 1, only one dog got eaten. F of 5 is equal to 16. Meaning there were a discount in Chinatown. The domain is 0 to 5 and the range is 0 to 16. I hope they make a sense. Now we may move on to the complicated stuffs. Here is our first problem, Polymerase, who came up with a day problem. It looks complicated, not to worry. I break it down for you. The pat f of x equals bra 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 is our equation. It's a h not equal 0 because we need to evaluate the next pat, which have h in the denominator. So we cannot divide by h if h is 0. Because if you divide by 0, the universe will have prod. Now we focus on the f of a plus h. This mean we praise a plus h, where all the x, anything squared is anything multiplied by itself. 2 squared is 4, 4 squared is 16, so a plus h squared must be a squared plus 2, a h plus h squared. Now we can simplify everything by distributing the 2 and a 5. Now we can plug this into f of a plus h. F of a is easy, because all we have to do is replace x for a. Boomash hakaraka. Anything minus itself equals 0. So now we can answer this, and this. Now it gets smaller. Like my paycheck, h divided by h is just 1. So we can get there, h out of here. No, seriously, we are done. If that did not make a senses, brush up on your algebra. Maybe someday I teach algebra, but not today. I'm moving on to the next problem. Shiitake mushroom it's a word problem. I always hated the word problem. Again, not to worry. I break it down for you. A rectangular storage container with an open top has a volume of 10 meters cubed. The length of its base is twice its width. Therefore we can replace the length with 2w. Material for the base costs 10 yen. I mean dollars per square meter. Material for the sides costs $6 per square meter. To me it sounds like we need to get the area of each side. Let's start with for the base. Area is length times width. The length of the base is 2w and the width is w. Therefore we multiply them together and get 2w squared. Don't forget this number represents the area in meters and the base costs $10 per meters. So we multiply this value by 10. If you already knew this, you have very big brain. Now the sides. Don't forget we have left, right, front and back. Left and right sides have H times W for their area. We can represent this with 2 times W, H. Da front and da back instead have 2 W times H. So we take this times 2 to account for the front and the back. We can now add the 2 values representing our sides, and then multiply them by 6 because that is how much the sides cost. Distribute the 2. Add these 2 values together, and distribute the 6. We are left with 20 W squared plus 36 W, H. Now we express the cost of materials of a function of the width of the base. This simply means we must have nothing but W in the equation. Once again, we need to get the H out of here. Haha. Well, remember the volume was 10 meters cubed. Therefore, since we know volume is length times width times height, we make an equation using 2W and W, H, since these values represent those things respectively. Divide everything but H to get it by its F. Simplify things a bit, and we will get that H equals 5 divided by W squared. We now substitute this in the original equation, and get this. This is pretty much done since there is no H, but it looks really ugly. Let's make your Kagura's teacher happy by distributing this and cancelling out a W, and we now have an equation representing W. It only works when W is bigger than 0, since we can't handle negative volume. Also why I get toxic people out of my life. I think this is the most important parts of 1.1, so I am going to skim over the rest. No, I am not lazy, I just think you guys are getting the gist now. This is a very basic review before I get into the area stuff. Don't worry if you pay attention, there is a rare opportunity to get some goodies. That's right. It's giveaway time. Here are 2 equations I made. Write the solution to both problem and email picture to the email on the screen. Also email screenshot of you liking this video and being subscribed and you will be winner. The good thing is that this is small channel, so there is good chance you will be first. Winner gets a shout out and a $5 gift card of their choice. Just email me what you want and I will get it for you. Now on to the rest of the video. Here are a bunch of random informations that will be useful in iterating. The domain of a function is everything you can plug in. If it will make the function fair, it is not part of the domain. We can write the answer in set notation or interval notation. These notations are simple, yet may be covered more fully in another video. The vertical line test may prove if a graph is a function. If you can draw a vertical line anywhere on the graph and have it hit more than 1 point, it is not a function. Here is a formal definition of the vertical line test. A curve in the xy plane is the graph of a function of x if and only if no vertical line intersect the curve more than one. And finally, we have graph symmetry. If you are like Death the Kid, this is very important to you. If the graph is symmetric about the y-axis, it is said to be even. If the graph is symmetric about the origin, it is said to be odd. That is how we can visually confirm that. But what about if we only have a the equation? If the equation f of x is equal to f of negative x, it is even. If the equation negative f of x is equal to f of negative x, it is odd. Sounds complicated, yes, but we can put this in Riemann terms. Even functions don't care if I put a positive or negative value in. They will remain the same whether I put in -2 or +2. Odd will do the opposite. If I put a positive value in, the negative value will give me the same result but opposite. Woza. We are done. How use it? If it was too hard, make sure to brush up on algebra. If enough people ask, I might teach algebra, but for now do your own research. If it was too easy, you are going to have to wait a couple videos. I am planning to go over the basics in chapter 1, come back chapter 2. If it was just right, then keep watching. Do you worry random giveaways? Keep your eyes peeled. Anyways, that is it for the video. So without further ado, I see you the next time. Always remember, Mr. Wong love you very much. He be arrive in a YouTube. Bye bye.